Preparations heighten nationwide as Cameroonians, pupils and students get back to school on September 8, 2025 for the 2025-2026 academic year. While parents are running helter-skelter to get basic needs for their children, the school administrators and teachers are busy preparing the different school campuses for the kickoff on Monday. In today's edition of 360 Degrees, we look at the stakes of the new academic year. This is 360 Degrees, and we shall be with you for the next 1 hour. Welcome back. Today we talk education with the back to school at the corner. We have barely 1 day to go. And of course, they always say give honor to whom honor is due. The house today is given to pedagogues. They are all pedagogues in one way or the other. They do different things as far as the educational sector is concerned. And we shall go straight away to welcome them before we come back to get into the discussions proper. In no particular order, I will begin from my right, where I have Mr. NOUMEN ASTRID. NOUMEN ASTRID is a school administrator, commonly called director, like many will wish, many would like to call. Mr. NOUMEN, you have been in this business for a very long time. And that is why I say, okay, for a day like this, we need people like you on board to share out your experience as the school year is starting. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to share my experiences with you and with all the Cameroonians. I just want to wish a wonderful back to school to all my people, all the teachers, all the students, all the parents, those who are ready and also those who are not ready, and for all the Canal televiewers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I must indicate that this is your first time on 360 Degrees. You've been on Canal before, but not on this platform. Okay, I have Madam Comfort ATANGA. Like I told you, we brought all the different stakeholders from the nursery to the high school. She is a head teacher of a nursery and primary school here in Yaoundé. Madam Comfort, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me the floor, and thanks for the opportunity you have granted me to. It's my first time of being in Canal, called Comfort ATANGA at Wombi.
Okay.
A teacher in the primary school for 18 years.
Wow.
I'm also a trauma healer in schools.
Okay.
I'm also a global school advocate, graduate this year as a mentorship.
Okay.
And I do empower women on sustainable economy. Just like you can see some of my products here. I wish that all back to school, my parents, my pupils, my teachers, all viewers of Cameroon, we are coming back to that.
Thank you so very much, and welcome. I equally have the extreme SESEKO Dr. EYONG. He's been here before for several times, and as somebody who is so rooted into the educational sector, he's here again to share his very rich input with us. Doc, you're welcome.
Thanks very much for the invitation. My warm regards to the other members of panel. It's always a pleasure to talk about education, which is what I sleep and get up with, and which is the backbone of the country, as I usually say. At this critical moment when parents are stressed up, we too, the school administrators and teachers, are more worked up even, because the pressure on us is ×2 their own. But we just hope that by the time we actually begin school, some of this pressure would have reduced, though they will not get finished, and that we'll be able to manage as we've done in the past years. Thanks to Canal for taking this topic up, because usually nobody cares about what happens about schools. They will do it now, and then that is the end of it until next academic year. But you guys always try to remember us. Thanks for that, and we wish that we'll contribute positively to the topic today.
Thank you so much, Doc. We have Mr. YUNGSI Isaac Mo, who is a teacher, and he doubles as one of the spokespersons for the COREC platform. COREC, I should say, is a platform that engulfs different teachers' trade unions. Am I correct?
Thank you, Mr. Chia. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to fellow panelists. I'm YUNGSI Isaac Moore, spokesperson for COREC.
Yeah.
COREC is the Association of Teachers Organizations of Cameroon.
Okay.
And I'm here to represent them.
Okay.
Just to wish a good afternoon to your millions of televiewers and to the hundreds of thousands of teachers who are out there who are equally parents,
yeah,
and who do not know how their children will start school on Monday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are fortunate to have the principal of the Government Bilingual Technical High School, Yaoundé, on set with us today, Mr. HENE Julius. You're welcome, sir.
Hi, Mr. Chair. Thank you for inviting me. I'm honored to be here. To share my savoir-faire with other parents out there,
yeah,
as far as this back-to-school issue is concerned. I think it's a concern to all the parents as far as back-to-school is concerned. Greetings to my co-panelists. Greetings to all the televiewers worldwide. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let me just begin with you. We are 1 day to go. What is the global atmosphere you paint on this year's back to school?
I think the stakes are very high for any bona fide parent whose children or a child will call him father or mother. And the stakes are high for it's either a do or die business, given to the fact that we just have 1 day to go for school resumption.
Yeah.
And any father who classify education as important,
As a priority,
as important, or as something which is like a powerful tool in his life through his children, should be burning right now to see that the children get back to school on Monday.
Thank you so much. Mr. Isaac, as a teacher, let's remain with you first as an individual. How prepared are you for Monday?
How prepared am I for Monday? I wouldn't say I'm prepared. As an individual, yes, I'm prepared.
Yes.
But as a parent, as a trade unionist, the atmosphere is bleak.
Okay.
Bleak not for me alone, but for my fellow comrades, my fellow colleagues. It's an atmosphere of fighting that we've been carrying out for a long time now. Unfortunately, there are no results, no positive results.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But
Yeah.
let me stay with you as a teacher and as a parent. How prepared are you for Monday?
It's the
We
same
are just
thing.
1 day to go.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
So as a teacher, as a parent, it is that bleakness that preoccupies me at this point. Knowing that I'm going to enter a classroom of more than 100 students, and I cannot circulate in that classroom. I cannot meet my learners who are seated behind, and so many other issues. So yes, I want to meet my learners. I'm anxious to meet them. But
you have the fear of going back to meet
those worries, they come back to play in my mind. So that's the situation I have.
Okay, Mr. NOUMEN ASTRID, as school administrators, what are the key activities that you guys are carrying out at this point in time?
It's true that according to the school calendar that was given by the various ministries, the administration is back since the 1st of September. Yeah. So we are back, and we are back to prepare.
Okay.
And when we talk about preparation, we have the physical preparation, the infrastructure, is everything okay? And the pedagogic preparation, because the teachers are also back with us since that date, and they are preparing the lessons, they are preparing their pedagogic projects, and they are preparing their timetables to make sure that on Monday we are starting. not because those days we used to come the first day of the school to come and visit. But on Monday we want to be sure that we are starting. Yes, we are starting with diagnostic evaluations, and first lessons will just start. So that is what we've been doing, and following up also some seminars that are being carried on in various inspectorates, and so that we should be ready, we and the teachers, and the registration too, which is still going on.
Okay, Madam Comfort, are the lessons for Monday ready? Because Sunday is not a working day, and you know, I think...
I must confirm that we are already set for Monday, because as Riley said, we started on Monday with our own preparatory. As teachers, you don't have to sleep and get to your classroom without preparing. So as we are preparing to welcome our pupils, the parents, early morning on Monday, the teachers too have already set. And I, for one, have already given the necessary materials to my teachers. I've carried an interview, maybe a counselor class with them. Yeah, because you must talk to your teachers. The welcoming of a parent, it depends. Okay. The manner of which you approach a child, it depends. You know, dealing with little kids, you have to give them that love for the very first day. So during this week, that us as teachers preparing back to school, those were the key points that we put in the minds of our new teachers and the old teachers, because we keep renewing us as leaders.
Dr. EYONG, the major challenges, the major activities you are into right now, as we are counting just a day for Monday.
Well, thank you very much. The first thing is that school administrators hardly go on holidays. We hardly go on holidays because there will always be something for us to do in school. And so we work for the 12 months in reality. But that said, I think at AHS what we have done so far is that when the official school program comes out, we carry out a number of pedagogic and administrative activities. Firstly, we have a number of what we call part-time teachers. Sometimes they come and go. So the first thing to do is always to fill the gap by recruiting new teachers to fill that gap, which has been done. The second thing that is usually done is to call what we normally call the first staff meeting. The first staff meeting is what normally holds in order to determine the workload. Workload here is which classes a teacher will teach, how many hours go to that, what are the days that the person is free to teach, so that the timetable can be drawn. In that same meeting also, we carry out an evaluation of the previous school year. What happened? What went well, what did not go well, and for what went well, how can it be better? What did not go well, what can be done? At the level of infrastructure, you have to make sure that the classrooms are okay in terms of lighting, in terms of benches, in terms of the blackboard. There are other facilities like the toilets that have to be checked. We have didactic materials like the logbooks, chalk, which are basic tools that need to be on spot on that day. And of course, we have the environment. We have taps, which have to be checked to be sure that because the children use the taps regularly. And we have the playground and assembly ground that have to be checked. We also have even the offices. So it is a plethoric number of things that have to be done. And as one person said here, we have admission also going on that you need to manage. Above all, what is most serious is in terms of admission. How do you manage it? Especially like you hear maybe from the principal of government in Kabalunga High School, we have a problem in terms of space, in terms of number of parents, especially when your school is strategically located. It becomes so burdensome for you to embrace everybody. So we are trying to manage the situation the way we can and to end up as parents too, from the way I look at all of us here, we have children to take care of. That pressure is also there. So while you are managing your parental issues, you are managing your work issues, so it becomes more challenging for us.
You made mention of preparations in terms of hygiene. We just want to stress again on that point, because during the GCE examination, we were on a tour with the Minister of Secondary Education, and it happened that we got to schools where the toilet situation was very, very catastrophic. I think that is a key aspect that the school proprietors and administrators should lay a cap on. They are giving us preparations at, in different private schools. Is that the same atmosphere you have in the public school that you are.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chia. We are just like the infantry, like when we are compared to the military. That is, the hierarchy has already kick-started the school year by having a pedagogic, we had a pedagogic meeting at Lycée Technique a fortnight ago with the minister to actually give us all the laid-down rules to start the school year. Just like my co-panelists mentioned a couple of minutes ago, we school administrators, we don't have holidays. We have been on throughout the time. Especially some of us who are in bilingual schools, we conducted the interview into Form 1. And then later on, we conducted the interview into Second, Concours d'entrée Second. Therefore, all of that is in place. What is at stake right now, we are carrying out a mission that just started 2 days ago because we follow the hierarchy prescription. We don't admit students when we have not been asked to do so. Therefore, we have that kind of bustling and jostling right now on our campuses, most government schools campuses, because the registration was, it came later on. And what made it to delay because of the school map, the minister insists on the fact that all the school students or all the students must be able to have a unique identification number. And that has compounded it with some difficulties because most private schools who are seeking admission in government schools, some of them don't have this unique matriculation.
Most private students, you mean?
Who are seeking admission in government schools. Therefore, it's our own responsibility to make sure the platform is open for us to, attribute them a matriculation before they could become our students. Infrastructural-wise, we work on the public investment budget that the hierarchy used to accredit to most schools. And in the absence of that, the PTA will take the responsibility. When you come right now to my campus, you'll see that some work is ongoing because the board of the school management board, we had a meeting and they voted a budget to renovate some buildings.
Before I take the mic from you, talking about registration and admission, there is this noise that is always coming every year. Some alleging that there is a lot of corruption when it comes to admission of students into public schools in Yaoundé.
Yes, that cannot be denied. But be rest assured that in as much as we have good people out there, we also have some unscrupulous individuals who go about and say that they are the henchmen of the principal. When you come to my school, you'll find a clear and clear notice written that beware of anarchists, I will say in French because it's written in French. Yes, beware of gangsters, beware of unscrupulous individuals who may impersonate to say that they are working for the principal. The government schools are free of charge. And when you come, you have any difficulties, meet the principal face to face, and you deposit your documents for a commission that will be set up any time from now to select those students who will be admitted in our school for effective classes to take off.
Thank you so much. Mr. Isaac, yes, before we get back to the others, at this point, COREC is still agitating. What exactly is the problem?
I leave your choice of words to you. I don't know whether we are agitating or we are making sense. But I want to
agitation, it doesn't mean that maybe you don't have the right to do what you're doing, but then you are still, I don't know, there's still this movement going on. What is it? What is happening? We need to clear the air, at least.
That's why I said that I don't want to choose your own words for you. But I think we are making a lot of sense. Before I come to that, let me just make a comment on what the principal said. I think it's very important. We have this understanding that in Yaoundé, to have a place in 6e or Form 1, it's 100,000 francs. And the other classes is 50,000 francs. And some schools have what we call cases, where if you are a teacher, for example, you can bring a case and you are given 50K or 50,000, and you do whatever you want to do with it. Personally, I don't indulge in such things because they are completely illegal. And I'm happy the principal said that in his school, that does not obtain. So I think if other principals could do the same, it would help. I think maybe principals will go further to make sure that they are accessible to parents, so that parents would get to them easily instead of passing through those middlemen. So coming back to COREC, we've been fighting for the rights of the teachers. And the good news is that the government, a team of ministers met us. We met on the 26th of March, and the team of ministers accepted. They acknowledged the fact that our grievances were welcome. But as we speak, this should be how many months down the lane? 4 months? 4. Oh, more than 4.
April, May, June, July, August.
And it is a 9 months, 6 months down the lane.
This is the 6th month.
Nothing concrete. Absolutely nothing concrete has been obtained. Let me just go further to tell you that on the some days ago, with the Minister of Labor and Social Security, and we had a meeting on the collective convention for the private sector. And as we speak, nothing has been obtained. So, but the good thing, as I told you before, is that the ministers themselves are okay with us that we have legal and good grievances, but nothing concrete has been obtained by us.
So what are the standing problems?
What are the standing problems? They are the same problems. Some have been lingering for over 13 years now. I take the case of heads of departments who do a lot of work. I've done that before. I know how they work with their collaborators in the department. They have to submit statistics every now and then. They have to maybe check what their other colleagues are doing in their classes. And in all of that, they don't have allowances. And it will be surprising for you to know that in 2012, the highest authority in Cameroon, the President of the Republic, signed a decree instituting an allowance for heads of departments. And 13 years down the lane, that allowance is not paid. So that is just an image to show you how serious the situation is. And that's what I told you from the beginning when you talked about agitation. I said, we are making a lot of sense.
I
didn't
deny that.
Unfortunately, we that is just an image of an image of what we are going through. Just one of the examples.
Before I take the mic from you, your fight, does it touch teachers in the private sector? Or you are limited to your public sector teachers and then you don't care about what obtains in the private sector?
I just talked about the collective convention. Collective convention has nothing to do with civil servants. It's about the private sector. So we, COREC is, let me say it in English, Association of Teachers Organizations of Cameroon. So all trade unions are there, all organizations. When I talk about organizations, I mean things like OTS, which is not a trade union, it's part of COREC. And then we have primary school, secondary school, private and public. So we touch on every sector except the higher education sector.
I will not want to ask you if you belong to any of those associations, but let's just focus on the problems. We are starting the school year, and it's important we point out some of these standing challenges in the private sector. What are some of them that up to date you keep battling? Maybe it is affecting your job?
It's true that most often when we look at the media, we are always talking about the public sector. But it doesn't mean that the private sector does not have any problem. I'm tempted to say that we are facing...
You have more problems.
More and more problems. And some of those problems, yes, the public sector is talking about the some payments that we also have in the private sectors. Okay. This issue of poor salaries, we are facing it. Okay. This issue of number of months being paid, we are facing it.
During holidays, practically a majority of the private school teachers do not have salaries.
And that is how many teachers will find themselves in some kind of business. And then when they come back, we still need to retrain them, because 3 months of businesses, maybe you have
forgotten pedagogy.
So we have all that. We have other issues like schools that are authorized to function and schools that are to be closed. Sometimes we are like, it concerns only the private sector, because most of the time that they raise up the reason why they are closing a school, we realize that even the public school that is just near is even...
It's worse than why you have...
It's worse than the private school that they are trying to close. So it makes a lot of confusion in the private sector. It's true that in terms of enrollment per class, we work on that. We are in the private sector. We make effort not to be having too many. But the problem now is at the level of registration, because we in the private sector, we always ask parents, former parents, that by May, June, they have to start re-registering the children, so that when we are taking new children, we should know how many. Okay. But up to now, some of them have not shown up. And maybe I've replaced them, and on Monday they'll come, enter into my office and start reclaiming that I should put them back in the class. So,
okay, Madam Comfort, the challenges you private school teachers face as we are about to kickstart the academic year.
Okay, sir. I must confess that with my collaborators the other way, I'm part of the teachers' trade union.
Okay. I didn't want to ask you that. Thank you for confirming it by yourself.
So, come to the challenges faced by the school administrator or the teachers of the private sector. It is a taboo, let me put it that way. You know, teachers are the light of the world, but they come to minimize who a teacher is. When you go through the private schools where teachers are, many schools, this 2025, 2026, are crying.
Okay.
Why? Because teachers, just like my colleague here said, teachers put themselves now into business. Many of us in the private sectors will no longer come back to our service. Why? Poor salary, lack of infrastructure of school. Because as a teacher, lack of materials that the founder of the school is not providing. Okay. As a teacher, do you need to buy a chalk to use in your classroom? Do you need to provide water corner for your pupils? You don't. Do you need to provide benches for your pupils? No. It is the school founder.
Okay. Before I go to Dr. EYONG, I want to stay with the two of you. You are talking about salaries. Some teachers go around complaining that the school teachers are part of the problems of salaries because they negotiate or they even guide the proprietors in maybe limiting the salaries of teachers at a certain amount. Is that true?
Okay. Come to...
You think only about yourselves. Once a head teacher is well paid or a director is well paid, whatever happens to the other teachers...
What I must confess is that I'm one of those in my school that I prefer to satisfy my teachers before looking at my own self.
Okay.
Because as a leader, let those that you are leading should be satisfied. And so, with my teachers, and I believe that right now that maybe some of them are listening to me, I do play my part and make my boss to understand that the life we are living now is so difficult. And for you to have...
I just want to commend the principal for an incident that happened 2 days ago in his school, where a parent, he will recall when I say the story, just 1 minute. A female parent came to your school and was arguing with the secretary. The person has been coming there for about 2 weeks, and you just came out of the office and you asked fire and some other ones. And this is a case of a student who passed an exam in a private school in Susa, technical commercial, and the school doesn't have a high school. This parent has taken the child to help and has been frustrated in the school for 2 weeks. Now the blame will be put on the principal, whereas the principal came out and used 2 seconds to solve the problem. That is just an example to show that people can be doing things and they impute it on the principal who is not even aware of what happened. That is just to corroborate what he said. We just want to hope that it extends to the other sectors we don't know concerning him, but that is just to show that there are still good seats among them.
Thank you so much.
That said, what is the problem with the private schools is that the private school proprietors, they have been given a sort of a demigod situation in their business. The private schools are not protected by law. For example, if you go to the Ministry of Labor and Social Security to ask them what is the pay grade for the private sector, it doesn't exist, and it has never existed in Cameroon. So it means that your recruitment depends on your personal negotiation with who employs you. So the workers are at the mercy of the employees are at the mercy of the employer. And with the difficulties that we face in the country today, if you refuse that job, another person, the jobs are limited, while those who want it are in the majority. This has given this unscrupulous, some of these unscrupulous employers to take advantage. The principals can be accused, but trust me, there are some principals even who do not have a say in their schools. They are principals figuratively. I know them. As you know, I've been principal in Yaoundé for 26 years. I'm the oldest serving principal in Yaoundé, one of the oldest in Cameroon. I've been principal for 26 years. So I know what I'm talking about, and in the private sector. So sometimes you see a principal, you see his office. It's like a wash night, a guard's place, you know? Then the proprietor comes to school with Prados and even changes them. The principal cannot even have a motorbike to come to school with. Then you imagine if you pay a principal in Yaoundé 100,000 francs with all the social responsibilities. Let me not just go family, just in the meetings. I'm being pragmatic. You go to a meeting and say the principal has come. They don't know that you came with 2,000 francs in your pocket. They expect you to do something big for it. It becomes a problem. And then you go now to the sector of deciding salaries. These principals have no say. Even sometimes to employ, they don't. Some don't even have the power to buy chalk. A principal does not even have a toilet in his school. I'm saying pragmatic issues here. So the private school, where you see the government hitting hard, it is not for nothing. I agree that some government schools are lacking, but trust me, when you want to see it in the private school, it gets worse. You come to the school, the principal does not even know the number of students in his school. I'm not joking about it, because the issue is between the proprietor and the bosser. Okay? The principal cannot take authority to buy chalk. He does not, if a bench gets broken, he doesn't know what to say. Inspectors even come to visit the school, they want to ask him documents, he doesn't have them. You know? So the private sector in Cameroon, in the school one, it's a nightmare. It's a mirage of everything concerning, let's do everything to have good results so that they can float everywhere. For example, when they know that EYONG is a good geography teacher, if I go to any school, I'll be easily recruited. So that is the only thing that keeps those schools doing well. You also go to another point, you have a situation where they recruit people with some qualifications that are doubtful because they want to get cheap labor, you know? So it is a problem. You take them to the labor, they say the matter should go to court. That teacher who has been earning 60,000, 100,000, expect him to pay a lawyer, and in the court it will take about 1 year. He ends up spending more than the money he expects to get. These are some of the challenges that the private school faces. So when I meet with principals, I always try to caution them. I'm an advisor in the Central Regional Principals Association, and I always tell them, try to just do things according to your consciences and keep your name clean. Okay? Leave their money alone, do what you can do within the school so that your name remains up. And we can see that some of these schools, I will not tell you a lie, they keep also stagnating. And they are accusing the government, accusing other people, whereas it is the bad faith of those people. The schools in Yaoundé that have stood the test of time, are doing a lot in terms of keeping their teachers fine. English high school is one of them. We have maintained standard for 26 years. Ask anybody, they will tell you. Because when I'm in management, I tell them, this teacher has been here for this long. He needs to move up to this rate. Yeah. This person has been servicing us without us looking at the person. He can handle this situation. Okay. So you try to do those things irrespective of what they will tell you. When you put yourself at this strong stand, it also gives you the weight and what you deserve to hold in your school.
Mr. Isaac, your advocacy, is it only towards the government, or you always, or you also maybe take steps towards talking with some of these, I don't want to call them unscrupulous, but I would say business-oriented proprietors who care very little about the teachers under their care?
The word is mine, and I stand by it. Yes. They are unscrupulous ones.
I borrow his words.
Okay, so
I stand by doctor's words. It's a terrible situation. Yeah. Mr. Chia, when I was here the last time, I asked you a question. We have 2 children. One has 7 on 20. The other has 9 on 20. Which of these has passion we have? We have civil servants who we say we have 9 on 10. And we have private teachers who have 7 on 10. None of them are comfortable. And as we have all agreed, the situation of private teachers is terrible. As Dr. Riley said, there is no law, none, governing this sector. The salary scale that is applied to the private sector in 2025 is a 1985 salary scale. And it will shock you to know that...
Which is not even effective.
Which is, anyway, let's say it's effective.
In the private sector.
The lowest salaries is 23,000 francs CFA. And the highest, which is attributed or given to PhD holders, is 141,000 francs CFA. That is what applied in 1985. And that is what is instituted, applies today in private schools. Along the line, the minimum wage has changed from, I think, 30-something to 40-something, and now to 60,000 as concerns other sectors, because we know we have 3 types of minimum wages. We have one for the agricultural sector, we have one for those of the labor code, and then we have one for the rest. And teachers fall within the circle of the rest. So their minimum salary is supposed to be 60,000 francs. That's the starting salary. But as we speak, their starting salary is not even up to 23,000 as per the 1985 law. Some teachers are paid as low as 10,000 francs. And that salary is not regular. I'm not talking about Yaoundé. Yaoundé could be different.
No, we are talking about nationwide.
We are talking about Cameroon as a whole. And that 10,000 francs is not regular. Let's even take the case of Yaoundé. Someone who earns 60,000 francs, Mr. Chia. How much does a room? How can you live decently in a room with 60,000 francs? How much does a room cost in Yaoundé? So we are fighting for the conditions of teachers. Remember, a teacher is that person to whom the government, the state has given the authority to be the guarantor of the quality of education. I want to quote Nelson Mandela, who says, the highest weapon or the best weapon you can use to destroy a country is education. So if we neglect education in Cameroon, we are destroying this country. And I think the Ministry of Labor is already doing a lot. I want to commend them for that. Okay. Unfortunately, the employers are lagging. They don't want to. They have this capitalist view of education. They are selling education. They want to squeeze the teachers. They want to squeeze the parents. They ask you to bring this one. You pay school fees. They pay registration. You give money for Taylor. You give money for papers. I mean, you pay and you pay. You give money for graduation. And teachers are not well paid. Okay. For how many months are teachers paid in the private sector? Not 12
9 months.
12.
Most 9 months.
Most 9 months. So,
if you are lucky.
Yeah, there are schools that
okay, I shall be getting back to you. Yes. Mr. Principal, one of the issues we have in our schools today is discipline. And I must say, I've not heard any major cases of indiscipline from the government bilingual technical high school. And we are starting off on Monday. The kickoff always matters. What is the secret you have been using? Maybe the tips you can dish out so that some schools that are so notorious with cases of indiscipline should be able to pick from as they kickstart on Monday.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Before respond to that worry. Permit me also gain allusion to what Doctor just mentioned a few seconds ago. We have multiplied notices on campus that reads, beware of fraudsters. Therefore, the lady in question, if she had any problem whatsoever, would have been able to book for audience to meet the principal. I later on, I was so much embarrassed with what happened, but instantly I came in and I saw the problem just like you've mentioned. So at this point, we have a lot of fraudsters out there who dupe parents or the users, you know. So parents should be very careful, especially at this time, not only in our school, but in other public institutions.
Oh, yes.
Now, also, just like you mentioned about discipline or indiscipline, there can be no society where you don't have people who are not disciplined. Yeah. My school can never, or our school can never be an exception. But what we do is a public school, and we accommodate everybody. It's not like we choose students who have to school in our school, no. As I mentioned earlier, parents have deposited application files to solicit admission into our school. A commission has been set up already that will sit on Tuesday to select those students who school in our school. Okay. Therefore, we are not selecting those bright students as is done in other conventional schools. We take everything. Our mission is to train Cameroonians, responsible Cameroonians of tomorrow. Now, the issue of indiscipline in my school in the past, I don't like to dismiss students. Yes, this past academic year, I dismissed just one student out of a lot of 3,000. Why did I dismiss a student? Because he actually used a harmful object. He stabbed his friend, his fellow classmate. So that was criminal, and we had to dismiss the child. But other ones committed other minor crimes that we accommodated, and with different sanctions. We invited them in the class or disciplinary council, and there were sanctions according to the internal rules and regulation. Now, to cap it, we have this time around, we have amplified, or we have added the number of surveillance sectors. Just like the private sector faces difficulties with the management, us in the public also faces those difficulties, especially when it comes to human resources. Our teachers have discovered the way to go out of the country, and we lose them on a daily basis. Therefore, we cannot, as a school administrator, we cannot fold our arms to wait for magic to come from heaven for our children to be taught. Therefore, PTA go an extra mile to recruit part-time teachers, whom we pay them until the end of the year. Okay. Now we have also added a number of surrounding sector we call discipline masters, who are posted in all the corners of the campus to make sure that they curb those students who are recalcitrant. So that's a number of measures we've taken.
Thank you so much.
We have also used some of our teachers who have their workload is lower for them to interfere in the discipline department. There are some who are not actually apt to go to the classroom. We also use them in the discipline for them to help us.
Thank you.
So that's how we're looking to manage indiscipline of some students during this coming academic year.
Thank you so much. Mr. Noumen, you were talking about unauthorized schools closed down by the government every year. I want us to look at the timing of those schools, of such an action, and then the consequences it may have on parents.
Before I get into that, I wanted to say something, because we should stop joking with education in this country. Yeah. We just said that education is the backbone. And if we are destroying the backbone, we are destroying our country. We are destroying the future of this country. A lot of things have been said, and we continue to say it. And we are not seeing actions being taken. Okay. And this is very, very sad, because you're talking about closing schools. They just wrote on a piece of paper, we are sorry, this school will not function this year, and they pasted it. Just 1 week ago. And I saw a parent that was asking, where am I going to register my child? What will I do? Are they going to reimburse the money that I've paid? Why is it now, just now? The whole year, they acknowledge that that school were having maybe some lapses.
Yeah.
Why is it that in May, they did not start alarming that, okay, maybe because of this or this or this or this, next year you will not be able, so that by June they close the school so that the children will have opportunity to go to another school. The principal just talking about registration that just started a few days ago. When those other children will come in those others, and that is where corruption will get in. Because children will not stay at home without going to school, even though some of them were really crying because they don't know what to do. So I think that the timing, but the problem, I think that the problem is that I have a feeling that the government at some certain moment is like guilty, not having free hands to really manage, because the private sector is having this problem of mismanagement at every level. And we have specialists at the ministries, at the inspectorates, at the delegations, that their duties are to follow up those schools, not just to go there and take envelopes. They have to, even if it has to come and sit there, open an office there, follow up the school, because it is true that the government cannot do everything in terms of educating our children.
But how did we get to a point where schools are operating and the government claims they don't know about the schools?
I don't think that is the right thing to say, because somebody don't just stand up like that and start opening school. Sometimes maybe there is something wrong somewhere that nobody want to tell the truth.
Okay. Dr. EYONG, I will come to you, Madam Comfort. Dr. EYONG, is it that the procedure maybe in legalizing your school, for it to be authentic, are the procedures so long that some just maybe prefer to just start without the government's approval?
No, the procedures are not. They are not long, but they are heavy in terms of items needed.
Okay.
Because the government took measures to make sure that if you want to open a school, certain criteria should be met. First, in terms of academic qualification, the level of, for example, to open a primary school, you are expected to have at least an advanced level. Yeah. To open a secondary school, you are supposed to have at least...
You, the proprietor?
The proprietor.
Okay.
So that you have at least some basic knowledge about education. Now, it comes to surface area. There is a certain surface area in terms of space that your land must have before you get the school.
I hear it's about 1,500 meters.
Yes, it's 2,000, at least 2,000, about 1,500 to 2,000 meters square, depending whether it is basic or secondary. Yeah. Then you have to also present your administrative staff in terms of their qualification and other things. So it's just a documentation aspect. When you fulfill this element, for the private schools, you pass through what they call the education for the Secretariat for Education of Private School, probably called the SESEKO in the French acronym. They come and do the inspection together with members of the delegation. If it is approved, they first give you what they call creation. Yeah. They give you a first document that is called creation, authorization to create a school.
Which most of these schools do not even have.
Yes. They don't have, and then there are some who have that and who are operating. Whereas they are supposed to now proceed with the construction of the school. I will forget, you are supposed to add also the architecture of the school and to also add the building permit and all of those aspects. Because the schools are not supposed to go beyond 2 floors. No matter the school, it doesn't go beyond 2 floors. So those things are supposed to be part of the document. Now, when they give you that, you are supposed now to continue with what we call the construction of the school. When that is done, you come back and then they give you what they call opening. Yeah. The opening, so you have 2 documents, the creation and the opening. Yeah. So people don't have the creation, they go operational. Others have the creation, they go operational without having the opening. Okay. So these are some of the polemic. And so those who come to check sometimes are not aware even of these things. So when they come, they brandish them, that creation, they let it go, and then the people go operational. The unscrupulous aspect comes again, as I said. You know, Cameroonians in the majority are very corrupt people.
Okay.
So the unscrupulous people, they do it and they know that when the people come, they are going to give them envelopes, sometimes with very high authorities behind it. You want to talk so much, they just make a phone call. And when you hear the person who is talking on the other side, you know where you belong. So you just go quietly, you know. So there are a number of things that are going on that are not right. Sometimes they even ask you to start a secondary school. You go to a first circle, you go into the second circles. You have a problem. Others, they authorize you to go general, you go behind and start a commercial technical. And so these are some of the problems when we see schools are being closed. It's not on one aspect. There are plethoric of reasons where some people could simply just go and they just meet up within the space of a few months.
Okay, thank you so much. I will be coming back maybe to take your last word, but let's just go above what we are discussing. COREC, a few days back, signed a memorandum of understanding with the SDF on the upcoming elections. Was that an open declaration that the teachers are behind the SDF candidate?
Unfortunately, that is the message that people received.
Okay, tell us the real content of that.
Okay, just very briefly.
Yes, briefly,
COREC,
please, we don't have time.
has what we call Educators, Observers of Elections. That's a project that we created in August, on the 6th of August. And we want to observe elections. We want to work as police station members. We want to accompany all the political parties, including the CPDM, the ruling political party. We've signed one with the SDF, that was the first party. We had the second one with the UNDP party, and then the third one just a few days ago with Serge Espoir of PUS.
Yes.
So, and we are waiting. We are talking with other political parties. So we have not endorsed any political party.
Okay, thank you.
And we won't endorse any political parties. We are citizens, and we want to partake in the upcoming elections. We want to make sure that what comes out of the polls of the ballot box is what is proclaimed at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Principal, we are running out. Maybe you look at that camera. If you have a message for the parents as the children go back to school on Monday, what would that message be?
Parents, I, myself inclusive, I think we have been hustling to make sure we prepare our children for them to be ready for Monday. I would advise those parents who are late that each time a school year ends, they should know that preparation for the next school year has started. And if they have not yet started, against Monday, it is not late. They should have a cool head, and they should struggle as much as possible to purchase all those items necessary for their children to start school on Monday. For education, just like my fellow panelists said, it's the backbone of a nation. If the backbone is not there, it means that nation is limping. Yeah. Therefore, our advice, fellow parents like myself, to also prepare their children. This morning, I must assure you, I got up very early to buy items for my children. Yeah. As a parent, I was worried I could not sleep. And I also wish to think, or I also think that most parents
did not sleep.
Did not also sleep like I did. Therefore, it is not late. They should take the challenge, for education is power.
Madam Comfort, maybe a last word for your fellow private school teachers?
Well, what I want to say here is that despite the fact that parents are struggling, preparing, I hope on Monday with the traffic all over the place, blockage of the road, parents should know their time management, especially the children of nursery that they will be dropping and picking them up. They have to reschedule their time so that they will pick these children on time for no incident to happen to us, the teacher in school.
Okay, thank you so much. You just mentioned the nursery, and I was about to ask the two of you, because it is alleged that in private schools, you guys recruit underage children. We see children at the age of 2 in schools, in different private schools in Yaoundé. Mr. NOUMEN, your last word, please.
Okay, what I want to say is that there's a new problem that we are facing this year, especially. And the problem is this.
You have to be brief, please.
Parents are coming, they are paying us the registration, and they're saying that they will pay the school fees after the 12th of October. So I just advise my politicians that when they are doing politics, they should pay attention, because what they are doing is affecting education. And we know the problem of light, roads, and water, and all that. Parents, I just want to encourage them that on Monday we are starting, let the children come and start the school.
Thank you so much, Dr. EYONG. In less than 10 seconds, please.
The only way to destroy a country is to destroy the educational system. So let those in power be conscious of the fact that they are already getting towards that direction, but there is still time to till they go into the other side.
Thank you so much. Like Mr. NOUMEN was saying, the school year will be effective. There is nothing to panic. You have to make sure that you kickstart the academic year in good footing. And we want to call on those in the Northwest and the Southwest. Please, whatever the case, allow children to go to school. Whatever the case, we shall be able to look at the other issues. But then children have to be in school. 9 years or 8 years has been too much. And at this point in time, we have to be positive, especially on education, if we want those children to have a future after the crisis in the Northwest and Southwest. Till we meet again next Saturday. Stay blessed.